I'm going to come on to Philper in a minute to give us a view from culture on this, but Brian, who joined us late, welcome Brian, and maybe I can start with you the question. Your business is again, in two words, about connecting projects and money, and finding a way, helping companies and projects to find investors. Now, my own perception of this is that this kind of investor communication and investor relation industry has been one of the conservative ones. That's been quite slow to really accept technology. There's the sense of you can't really raise money without sitting in a leather armchair and looking at investors and smoking cigars and talking. You kind of started to prove that wrong. You're in 78 countries, the business is working. So that's where we are today. Looking ahead, what you had to overcome a big hurdle of bringing this online. What's the next big game-changing moment in this industry?
So, in this industry and in general in fintech, what really is changing is what companies are trying to do. Of course, we're all trying to solve problems, and there are different kind of problems that today are not solved in a very efficient way. But there are, in terms of methodology, two different ways to solve a problem. One is say, we're much better at doing this, let's kill whoever is doing it, and let's doing it in their place. And another way to do it is, hey, the system is inefficient, let's contribute to the improvement of the system. And one is called digital disruption, and we heard about that in the past. And the other one, we like to call it digital symbiosis. So a way that doesn't destroy jobs, a way that doesn't kill incumbents in the business, and a way that really enables sustainable growth and development. So we believe in digital symbiosis, and that's what we start seeing as a change. Because in the beginning, you see all these companies that come in and start disrupting what exists. And of course, the big incumbents don't care too much because they are growing very fast, but they are really small. So it doesn't hurt. But when these companies start to grow, of course, incumbents start fighting against them. And I'm in financial technology. And if I think that something like Uber is facing significant backlash from taxi drivers, which are not particularly wealthy on their own, nor very organized, I can only imagine what a bank could do to fight back with a much more organized structure and way more capital and way more influence to stop digital disruption. So we'd much rather play with the existing players, and in fact the way we matchmake is not by saying, okay, these are great investors, these are great projects, why don't you meet each other? What we do is we're working on a global basis with all the best banks, and those banks are willingly bringing their best customers into our platform for them to do business together. And those could be investment deals, but those could be any type of transaction as long as they're worth $1 million plus. So it could be supply agreements, distribution agreements, and so on. And we are really good not only at convincing banks at doing that, but at giving them the incentive to do it. So that in the right mind, it is in their full interest to join and join fast. So as long as you can, rather than replace a system that is not really efficient, you can organize it and incentivize it to work in an efficient manner, you're saving so much energy. And also you are having a positive impact on the world at large. What I see is that my generation is way more conscious about externalities, which is what people like to call today impact. So when your business is doing really well, but you're destroying jobs, you're destroying GDP, that is going to have an impact on society. So if each one of us disrupt a piece, in the end, what is left? So it is going to hurt me in proportion. Of course, I'm not incentivized as a disruptor to save my own piece, but if nobody else is as well, we're going to destroy the whole ecosystem. Instead, our generation of millennials are really thinking, okay, how can we bring a positive impact? And for that reason, the mission of my company is to grow GDP per capita. That's what we do. And also, of course, we're a for-profit company, and we're doing extremely well. We went in 2.5 years to 100 people, and we matched $150 billion worth of transactions over the last quarter. So it is not true the paradigm of you have to do stuff on your own and you have to disrupt the ecosystem. You can build on what exists much more successfully. So that's what I see in the next 10 years, building on top.